Hi, before I start this video, I just want to bless y'all with this amazing clip right here. Yes, this is a Korean man playing as Jesus as he ascends the sky and starts waving to all the audience down below. I don't know why this is so funny, but it surely did make my day. Apparently there's an accident where he flew way too high than intended that he almost met Jesus. But back to the video. Korea, just like many other places around the world, is a place that we can look very fondly at due to its culture, maybe its cities, or even its people. That is, if we're talking about the south part, that is. And for someone who lives in the western side of the world and who has zero knowledge of the insides of Korea, other than maybe its food and its culture, this might come off as a shock to you than it was for me. But South Korea is actually more Christian than I anticipated. According to a 2025 to 2026 report of South Korea, 31% of Koreans identify as Christians. And people might just say, well, it's just the Christians from the West immigrating to South Korea, and that's majority of them. And you would be partially right. However, there is ethnically Koreans in Korea who do worship Jesus Christ. And I find this pretty interesting because the only country that is from Asia that doesn't include Russia that is Christian is Philippines. I'm not trying to say that because I'm Filipino myself, no, because the only thing that I hear from my neighboring countries around Asia are either Buddhism, Taoism, atheism, maybe Orthodox, but that's mostly in Russia, or other religions out there such as Muslims and Hinduism and so on and so forth. But I rarely hear a country other than Philippines that is predominantly Christian. And what you might not expect is that North Korea apparently has some Christianity in it. Or so you may think. When looking over Christianity in Korea, I circulated to this video of North Korean Christian church. Apparently the video is recorded and uploaded by this one YouTube channel named Inside of Pyongyang. I might be saying that wrong. You might be thinking that it looks like some ordinary church ceremony where you have people worshiping, singing, and you have a choir, and you have people donating to the church, and it looks pretty ordinary. However, what I find weird is that the video is uploaded in English, the title is in English, yet there is no subtitles of what they're exactly saying. Now, let's give a benefit of the doubt that maybe the uploader doesn't know English somehow, and that the video was just auto-generated from Google Translate. Well, if that's the case, then why not auto-generate some subtitles for people to understand that are not North Koreans? And if we're trying to say that, oh, well, maybe this video is just for North Koreans. Newsflash, North Korea has a strict policies of citizens using the internet. Then how is it possible for North Koreans to upload this video of them worshiping in a church? Well, it's quite simple actually. North Korean propaganda. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. The only reason why this uploader would show North Koreans worshiping in a presumably church is to show that, oh, we have freedom of religion here. Oh, we are worshiping Jesus Christ. We are so good doers. I even saw some people in the comments claiming that they're not worshiping Jesus or praising about Christianity, but rather praising and worshiping Kim Jong-un. I don't know about the legitimacy behind this because I don't speak North Korean language. However, since there's no really explicit subtitles or anything to understand what these people are saying, I have a very positive belief that they are just worshiping Kim Jong-un. And while we may assume that this looks like a standard church with, you know, the wooden benches and the red carpet, you know what's lacking? The cross. and also some quotations from the Bible. The only cross that we can see in this video is the one in the podium, but I guarantee you some people probably might miss this detail. Even if it's not the mainline Protestant church that we see in the West in person or in video, majority, if not all churches have some levels of crosses, maybe some arts of Jesus, or some biblical verse on the side of the wall, or anything like that. Usually you would see that. What I also find a little bit pretty eerie is that in the end of the video, almost everyone in the video is like turning towards the camera and just start clapping. Well, mostly to the music, presumably. However, I just find it weird that they're all just staring at the camera. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I find that very suspect. There's also this another channel called for DPRK called Welcome to Poyang Christian Church. And while we do see the church and the inside, we don't see the service inside the church. We see the arts, the imageries of Jesus, and we see some people maybe talking about Jesus on the podium, but we don't see a full crowd of people in service. Also, this video does not show North Korea being open towards Christianity or allowing Christian church to be in North Korea freewillingly, as the construction of this church is only to appease Vladimir Putin as he visits North Korea. That's the only reason why it was built. That's the reason why it's there. And when looking back at South Korean churches, this is one that I found that portrays that most Protestant churches have. And here's another contrast of what churches look like in the west side of America. You see people dancing, you see people clapping, you see people being lively in these churches that are Protestant. But what if these churches in Poyang are Orthodox or Catholic churches? Well, this is what they should look like. While many churches from different denominations of Christianity may differ in terms of service and their traditions, we can all agree that they have some semblance of the cross, Jesus, maybe Mary, or anything that has to do with the Bible. And when looking back at the North Korean churches, you can obviously tell this is pretty staged. This is only just for propaganda purposes. Before any potential DPRK agents that might find this video and might try to want to find me, this is satire. This is a joke. Nothing I have said is concrete proof of any form of malicious activities. This is only as simply praise of Poyang churches in North Korea. So please, without further ado, this is only a joke, guys. However, the only reason why I even made this video is because, one, I saw the Jesus clip of him ascending in South Korea, which I thought was really funny, and two, I wanted to contrast the differences of Christianity between South Korea and North Korea, because they obviously have two differences in terms of service, worship, and the mood. And again, DPRK agents, this is just a joke. I am not offending your leader or anything, but yeah, you can tell one is obviously fake for political reasons, and one is actually genuine and actually has freedom in their country, and that's totally North Korea. Oh jeez. But with that being said, as always, I'm gonna go back to the graves and tell you more bizarre stories like this. And if you don't subscribe, you're DPRK agents, and I will see you in court. With that being said, goodbye.